Do not get played in 2024. Crypto is going to make a lot of millionaires. But the problem is there's so much misinformation out there. There's so many distractions that people are going to make bad decisions or make no decisions at all, with analysts perilous. So my channel was created to help you make informed decisions. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I express exactly what I'm doing. But I would encourage you to make an informed decision. Stop listening to your uncle or your grandpa or your mom or dad who are telling you, and some of your financial advisors that are telling you crypto's a fraud. I'm going to give you the facts, figures, numbers, logic, so you can make an informed decision. Now we have this polarizing presidential debate around, will crypto be here or will it not be here? It will be here. First they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper. We are now in regulation and joining phase. It doesn't matter which side comes on board. Crypto will be here. The difference is how it's going to be regulated and how much freedom we will have with crypto, and how and who is going to survive. So we're going to break down today how 2 weeks ago, there was a gentleman meeting with Kamala Harris's campaign to talk to them about crypto. And then all of a sudden, seems like she's back on her anti-crypto train. We're going to look at Ted Cruz talking about how Bitcoin can revolutionize the energy grid. And then we're going to end with Kevin O'Leary breaking it down once again. So are you going to listen to the drunk uncle at the barbecue? Or are we going to listen to the financial advisor that's done no research on this? Or we're going to start to listen to the political parties that are moving us into a new monetary system? So let's dive right in. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to watch this first video. Now let's look at the timeline here. This was 2 weeks ago. This is Rep. Arcana, says he advised Kamala Harris' team about cryptocurrencies. So we're first going to watch this video, and then we're going to dive into what's come out just recently about Kamala Harris's campaign and what they're looking at around crypto.
Okay, so let's start with some news. You've got the FT reporting this morning that Kamala Harris, the vice president, has been setting up meetings with different members of the crypto contingent, different industry experts. Did you advise her on who to sit down with, or more generally, have you been speaking to her about crypto regulation?
I've advised her team. I mean, we had a roundtable with Anita Dunn that Mark Cuban and I hosted, and we said that we need to be the party of the future, the party of innovation. Bitcoin is about freedom. It's consistent with our agenda. It is used by people overseas who are dealing with authoritarian regimes. It was used by Navalny to be able to advocate for human rights.
That was a key factor right there. It says it's used by people dealing with authoritative regimes. So maybe that's why they're not pro crypto. What do you think? What do you guys think down below?
Right. It's used against a hedge on inflation. And so our party should understand it, understand why it's important, understand why cryptocurrencies are important, and have sensible regulations about it.
Okay, so you got their own party going to Kamala Harris and saying, listen, we got to understand what's going on. We need to get in the game, guys. Other countries, Russia, legalized Bitcoin mining, right? Other countries are already up. They're building their own digital currencies. They're operating on blockchain. BRICS is working to build their own central bank. They want to use cryptocurrency and blockchain to transact with each other. Okay, so this came out, so that was 2 weeks ago, and this came out on August 13th, 2024. Crypto Insider courting Vice President Harris, chase whispers of her openness. Just as the sector began bonding with Donald Trump, so crypto and Trump is bonding big time, the election arrival of Vice President Kamala Harris has caused some crypto eyes to wander, but Harris has yet to return her love. So they're trying to say, hey, listen, what do you think, Kamala? And then this came out yesterday as well. 1 hour. Was that 1 hour ago? No, that was yesterday. So that was yesterday's came out. Kamala Harris may continue the Biden administration crackdown on crypto. Harris is preparing to unveil plans about her economic policy mid-August speech. So we'll have to pay attention closely. It says new evidence that Kamala Harris will continue the crypto crackdown. Her advisor's choice suggests that she will keep Biden's hostile attitude towards crypto. But we'll have to see, right? Mid-August, we're going to hear some things from her campaign. So 2 weeks ago, Her own party was talking to her about the benefit of cryptocurrency and that we need to be in the game. And this is Senator Ted Cruz. It says what Bitcoin presents in an opportunity in real time enhances the resiliency of off-grid. This is kind of a, and this was posted by Bitcoin Magazine. It's kind of sounds windy in the video, so I'm going to turn up as much as I can. But listen to what he says about the energy grid with Bitcoin. It's really interesting.
Those weather events coincide with electricity generation plummeting. You look at electricity that is generated from wind and solar. You know, it's interesting. California likes to talk a lot about wind energy, but Texas leads the country, is the #1 generator of wind energy. But in a bad weather event, in a winter storm and a freeze, often the windmills don't blow and the solar panels aren't generating any energy. And so energy production drops at the same time that people are desperately needing energy to either heat their homes or cool their homes. What Bitcoin presents is an opportunity in real time to enhance the resiliency of our grid. Because you can think of Bitcoin miners as a giant battery. That if we have a weather emergency, y'all have the ability to shut these miners off in a matter of seconds. And suddenly the electricity that right now is generating value in a time of emergency can go to keep people's homes hot or cold, depending on what the emergency, can go to power hospitals, can go to power nursing homes. Bitcoin is a reservoir of power, a safety blanket.
So now not only is it a store of value for your money, but it is a reservoir of power and a safety blanket. So Senator Ted Cruz introduces legislation to ban central bank digital currencies. This was in February 26, 2024. So now we're seeing the polarizing separation of the parties. But here's what I'm going to tell you. And on the back end of this video, I'm going to talk deeper about this. Guys, it doesn't matter who becomes president. Crypto is here to stay. The difference is going to be what it looks like. Is it going to be unfettered regulation where companies can innovate and grow and get this economy back on track and we can build? Or is it going to be controlled and manipulated and tons of cryptos are going to get wiped out? So I'll break that down in just a moment. Trump's elections win may be bullish for cryptocurrency markets, Bernstein says. And then we'll leave you with Kevin O'Leary here breaking down. Says O'Leary gets into the real deal of the election of 2024. Let's listen to this.
Kevin O'Leary is here. When do you think home buyers will finally see real relief in the housing market?
Not for about 3 more years, because you got to remember there was a period of time when you could get a mortgage up to 7 years, 5 to 7 years at 3.8, 4.2%. If you own one of those, you have no incentive in selling it because you're going to have to refinance at 40% higher. So they have to come into the market. That won't be for 36 months. I see some relief, but not too much. And I think rates are going to stay around here for mortgages, not much lower. So I think we're stuck. We're stuck because we kept rates really low for a really long time.
Yes, we did. Next one. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz made his first appearance with Kamala Harris as the running mate yesterday. He slammed Trump over several major issues. Didn't come up with solutions of his own, though. He didn't outline his own plan for the economy. How long will voters put up with silence on this major policy area, the economy?
Well, let's get into the real deal on the election, because all of this happy talk doesn't matter. This is fundraising mode. We talked about that already. What matters is Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, these swing states, and they have moved to the center. So in terms of talking to the press, it's going to happen right after Chicago. We're going to start to see. Here are the issues that Trump is going to really pursue Harris on. She was the deciding vote on the IRA. The Inflation Reduction Act ended up being the reason we have inflation. He will nail her for that. He will nail her for the border. He will go after her on killing fracking in energy.
Yep.
He will obviously want to talk to her about foreign affairs.
Okay, this is really important, guys. I know, listen to what I'm going to break this down on the back end of this because it's really important. It's either going to be a growth economy or a controlled economy.
Defunding the police, hard on crime. He will pound her on those things. The press will then take that pounding and say, what are your answers? And we'll begin to see how well she can pivot the party to the center to be able to be competitive in these states. Michigan's a huge problem because Trump only won by 37,000 votes last time. And they've got 100,000 Muslims there that are very unhappy with the Democratic policy in the Middle East war. They're probably not going to get on side with Harris until something goes more center or she deals with the war effort there. So there's a lot of these kernels that are coming down the policy list. The press will dig in, and then we're going to find out, can she execute? This is going to be the risk factor for those that are backing her. And I don't think we're going to get that for about 3 more weeks.
Okay. Let's talk about the crypto divide. There's a crypto platform, a betting platform. It's called Polymarket. They see Kamala Harris losing to Trump in November. Seems like the crypto guys go for Trump. The non-crypto people go for Harris. Is that the split?
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But I would rather go with the Vegas bettors in terms of looking at election results. They're better than the pollsters, frankly, if you look at the history. I don't think anybody can call this race right now. We've got to get into the policy wars and hopefully the debate wars. I want to remind you, Stuart, back when Trump was debating Clinton, there was a day when the football games are on. It was a Sunday, I believe. And I found myself watching that debate being more entertained than football, which never happens. I think the potential of a Harris-Trump debate is going to be great television.
Oh, yeah. Dynamite.
Great television. And I think the networks are going to just bend over to try and get that deal done with them. And frankly, they should have 3 of them. Each major network should get a bite.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where it goes into my narrative. Okay. So you got, they're going to start talking about policy, and this is the honeymoon stage, right? Harris is going around and it's all popularity contest. Then we're going to get into policy. Now, this is where I look at it from an investor's standpoint. Okay. So we got Jerome Powell, who needs to lower interest rates in September, brings interest rates down. That's going to bring our assets parabolic, but we have to look further than that. Okay. So BlackRock, Larry Fink says we need to grow our way out of our economy through infrastructure, right? BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. They went into Bitcoin as a flight to quality. They went from it's a fraud to a flight to quality. Okay. BlackRock's in it. Goldman Sachs is in it. MicroStrategy is one of the largest Bitcoin holders. You got Vanguard, BlackRock, you got Fidelity, Fidelity getting involved in Bitcoin ETFs as well. But BlackRock and Vanguard are some of the largest holders in MicroStrategies. So are we going to do what the Uncle Tom says, or are we going to do our Uncle Bob or the drunk uncle at the freaking barbecue that's telling us it's a fraud? Or are we going to do what the BlackRock is doing, the largest asset managers in the world, what Fidelity is doing? Okay. Think about that for just a moment. Uncle Sue or Aunt Susie, who's telling you that, oh, this crypto, I heard it, because they're just parroting information. They're not going deep into macroeconomics. So if Trump wins, he wants to bring Bitcoin mining here to the US because we want to dominate the other countries, right? So we want to bring that production here. We want to bring jobs to America. On the other side, unless they start talking about policy, they've cracked down on crypto big time. And it seems that they want more control over the system versus the other side. I would love to hear your opinion. This is my opinion based on the facts, figures, numbers, logics that I've seen, and the difference in the economy being a multi-business owner. It's a big difference between the Trump era that I'm experiencing versus the Biden era. The Biden era, it's tough to run a business. 19% cumulative inflation. I mean, people are feeling it now. Credit cards are maxed for people at $1.1 trillion. Inflation is out of control. Okay. Regional banks are on the verge of collapse right now. There's a liquidity crisis. They're just giving away money to pay off student loans. That's not going to fix the economy, right? Inflation was caused by the Federal Reserve, by the government. Okay. The Feds since 1913, the Federal Reserve specifically since 1913, the US dollar's collapsed 98 to 99%. They cause inflation because the printing of money, detaching us from the gold standard in 1971, making our money fake fiat, the printing of money and low interest rates, they cause the inflation. The only way to fix it is to destroy, like you're going to have to bring down the rates, which is now destroying the job markets, right? So we need a president that's going to get us back into production, get us back into growth, get us back into what he says an even playing field, right? If Harris becomes pro crypto and they come on board, I don't think it's going to be pro crypto in the way that we want it. And Larry Fink said we need unfettered regulation. We need to let companies grow. That's how we're going to fix this economy. We have to grow out of this economy. So the next, gosh, what is it? Are we like 94 days out, 84 days out, something like that is so critical. So critical. Either way it goes, there's going to be crypto. So you can get that out of your head. That banks, I guarantee, are going to be working to custody your crypto. That's a done deal. So what I'm looking at is which ones are going to survive regulation on either side. And from there, I'm taking it deeper. I want to invest in diversification across cryptocurrency, like payment rails, infrastructure. Okay. You got supply chain, gaming, things that are actually going to be here in the future. I'm not going after these coins that have no utility, no future at all, and probably won't be able to survive regulation. I'm not gambling my money. I'm not doing that. Okay. So what I do is when it profits on the left side from 2024 to 2025, when it goes up, I only sell if it goes up. If it doesn't, everybody's like, what if the bull run? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it goes up, I sell. If it goes down, I buy. Very simple. Like Warren Buffett, cash on the sidelines to buy the dips. When there's blood in the streets, I buy the dip. When it goes up, I pull from the top of the risk pyramid, high risk. On the way up, I pull from high risk, high return, and I pull it down and I put my money into insurance. I max fund my policies. Insurance is something that I use for protection, to compound, and to borrow against tax-free. Okay, that's the key for me. It's using an indexing strategy that helps me and my family protect our wealth. From there, we have business, we have precious metals, silver. I'm using Bitcoin as my gold. I'll never sell my Bitcoin. I'm going to hold it forever. I made that decision recently. And then we're getting into multifamily. So we're building diversification, not only in real estate soon. We got insurance products diversification. We have crypto diversification. We have business diversification, information technology, attention, and education. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm spreading my risk across all different areas. I'm not just in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is extremely speculative, extremely risky right now. But if you have a game plan, it can work very, very well. But you have to do the opposite of the 99%. If your emotions are attached to these markets and you're like, oh my God, XRP didn't go up after the case was settled, then you're in the wrong state of mind, guys. You have to have a long-term fundamental strategy. If every single time, something happens and it doesn't pump, you get pissed, that's going to get you wrecked because you're going to make bad decisions. Intelligent investor, read the book. You need to understand we're investing in companies. Okay. You're investing in companies. It's not a security, but I'm just saying, like, you have to pretend you're investing in a company, not the markets. Billionaires use astrology. Millionaires use charts. There's a reason. So I'll leave it at that. So if you need any support at all, I want to be very clear. If you clicked it, we get hundreds of messages. You click the description of my video down below. Click needs assessment. That is to meet with my team around retirement strategy. So people ask how I insure my wealth all the time. We're using insurance. You can meet with my team around retirement strategy. So click needs assessment in the description or in my bio. Okay. And then the other link is to coach with me privately. So if you want to coach with me in a live session, in a live coaching session, not privately. I wish I had the time to coach people privately. I have a private coaching program, but we don't advertise that on here. But you can coach with me in a live webinar series if you're looking for education. So working with me as a coach. That's all in the description. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.